Morning and Assalamu alaikum 7th class. How are you students? Hope so you all are fine and taking good care of your health and doing the online study as well. Students, today is the Thursday 24th December 2020. Let's start our work with the name of Allah. Yesterday we did the transport system in plants. Today our topic is blood vessels. To explain the transport system in animal, you students must have knowledge about the blood vessels. So, let me explain about the blood vessels. First of all, what is blood vessels? Students, blood vessels are the channels through which blood is distributed to body tissue. Student, blood vessels are actually the channels or the vessels that help in the transportation of blood along through the body. So, channels through which the blood is distributed to body tissue are known as blood vessels. Students, we have two types of vessels, that is pulmonary vessels and another type is systemic vessel. Pulmonary vessels, as the name indicates, the word pulmonary is used for heart. Those vessels which transport the blood to heart and lung are known as pulmonary vessels, and the systemic vessels are those vessels which transport blood to rest of the body. Students, we have in human beings, we have closed blood circulatory system. Closed circulatory system. We have two types of blood circulatory system, that is closed circulatory system and open circulatory system. In human beings and multicellular organism, there is a closed blood circulatory system. In closed blood circulatory system, blood flows cannot move outside of vessels. Exchange of materials take place inside the blood vessels. So, in human beings, we have a closed circulatory system consisting of heart, blood vessels. Now, student, let us describe the types of blood vessels. How many types of blood vessels are? We have three types of blood vessels, namely arteries, veins and capillaries. So, three blood vessels are arteries, veins and capillaries. Now, I will explain you that what is arteries, and after that we'll explain veins and capillaries too. First is arteries. Student, arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. To body. So, these vessels carry blood, supply blood away from the heart to all parts of the body. Another point is all arteries all carry oxygenated blood. We have two types of blood, students, that is oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Carry oxygenated blood. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Student, this is an important MCQ or objective, that which artery carry deoxygenated blood. So only the pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood, because it arises from the right ventricle and it supply blood to the from heart to from lungs to heart. Then come here arteries. The walls of arteries are thick and strong. They have a thick and strong walls, and they have no valve to prevent the backflow of the blood. Student, this is all about. Students, let me explain another type of blood vessels, that is veins. Veins are the blood vessel that carries blood towards the heart. These are the blood vessels which carries blood towards the heart. Students, as I have explained you in the artery, that all arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Here also all veins carries deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Students, pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood to the heart, from lungs to the heart. Actually, the deoxygenated blood from the with the help of pulmonary artery will move towards the lungs for oxygenation, and then pulmonary vein get oxygenated blood and transport it from lungs to the heart. Next point of vein is the walls of the vein are thin and exert less pressure, because it contains deoxygenated blood towards the heart. Next is the veins. Wall of the veins have valves which prevents the backflow of the current. Students, if we draw a rough structure of veins, then in the vein, just like this, valves are present which prevent the backflow of the current. Then another point of vein is 70% of blood travel in the veins. Student, this is all about the veins. Now let me explain third type of blood vessel, which is capillaries. Students, first vessel is arteries. Arteries divide and form a short and the small vessels, that are arteries. On reaching the destination, every artery divided into many tiny blood vessels called capillaries. These are the smallest and numerous blood vessels. Students, the main function of our capillary is to deliver or supply oxygen, food and other substance to the cell from all over the body. Students, capillary walls are also thin, just as like the walls of the vein. They are microscopic, that can only be seen with the help of microscope. And if we give an example of capillary, for example, only the RBC, red blood cell, can pass through the capillary wall at one time. Student, if we draw a rough structure of capillary, here a capillary, only a single RBC can pass through it. They are so microscopic and small that 2 or 3 RBC cannot transfer. Only one RBC can pass from capillary at a single time. This is all about the capillaries. Now student, let me explain the structure of blood vessels, that is arteries, veins and capillaries. I have drawn this cross-section area of the arteries, vein and capillaries. This diagram shows the cross-section of arteries. First, have a look of arteries. Students, we have already studied that the walls of artery are thick. Why thick? Because arteries have to supply or flow the blood to all parts of the body. So more pressure will be required in the artery. So they have a thick walls. Student, this is the diagram of cross section. The outer wall that is present in artery is tunica externa. Tunica mean membrane and externa mean external. So external membrane is known as tunica externa. Students, this membrane is made up of fibrous layer of connective tissue. Fibrous layer of connective tissue. And this layer gives the support and strength to the artery to withstand the high pressure. And second layer is known as tunica media. Again, tunica mean membrane and media mean medium. Medium membrane is known as tunica media of the arteries. The walls of tunica media are made up of smooth muscles. They are made up of smooth muscles and their walls are elastic and span due to high pressure. They have a property of elasticity to withstand the high pressure. Next, internal layer, this one is known as tunica interna. Tunica mean membrane, interna mean internal. So internal membrane is known as tunica interna, and this membrane is made up of endothelium and it gives smoothness to the arteries to prevent any breakage or clotting. Okay, so tunica interna are made up of endothelium tissues and its wall gives smoothness to the artery to prevent any clotting. Next structure is here I have marked the red sign to show the blood. This is known as lumen. Lumen mean cavity. I am writing over here. So this cavity is known as lumen cavity where the blood flows. This is the structure of arteries. Now come to the vein. Here also the external layer is known as tunica externa, but you should see a difference between artery and vein. Here a thick external wall is present to prevent the pressure, and here veins are thin because this layer is thin and this layer is known as tunica externa. Next layer in veins is tunica media and third one is tunica interna. The composition of these layers are same, only the difference in between is between the thickness of these layer. Here the red marker showing the lumen, which is the cavity where blood will flow. So I have explained you the structure of artery and vein. Now let's have a look at the capillary structure. Student, as I have already explained you that capillaries are small and microscopic. So the size of capillary is small and it does not consist of any layers. It consists of a single layer which is made up of, we will say that, made of one layer, made up of only one layer, which is endothelial cell. Here the wall of capillary is made of endothelial cells. Here a difference. Okay students, so I have explained you the structure of arteries, veins and capillaries. First of all, arteries. First vessel in our body is arteries. Arteries then divide and form these small vessels, that is capillaries. Students, then capillaries join together and form the veins. So this is the structure of blood vessels.